Welcome back to another lesson on Shine On Me. Today we'll be covering the risk versus reward in investing. As an introduction, every investment involves a balance between both risk and reward. Risk is the chance that an investment may lose money, while reward is the potential growth that may happen for earning profits. Understanding this relationship helps investors make both smarter and more informed financial decisions. Let's first go over the concept of risk and understanding the risk that comes when you're investing your money. Risk is the possibility of losing some or even all of your investments, and different investments carry different levels of risk. For example, investing your money in stocks versus investing your money in a saving account would carry different levels of risk. There are many factors that affect this risk, such as market conditions, company performance, the global economy, or an investor's behavior. Overall, higher investments often come with more price fluctuations. Now that we've talked about the risk portion, let's also talk about understanding reward. Although these two concepts may be seen as the opposite, they work hand in hand. Reward is the potential gain from an investment and is usually measured as profit or return on investment, also referred to as a ROI. Investors seek reward in the form of dividends, interest, or capital gains. Higher potential reward are usually come from things with higher risk. And lastly, stable investments, which are usually bonds or savings accounts, have lower risk, but also have lower reward. Now that we know that the two risk and reward concepts are related, let's talk about their relationship in more detail. First, investors must decide how much risk they're willing to take for a potential reward. Low-risk investments will lead to smaller, more steady returns, such as government bonds, while medium-risk investments have more balanced potential, such as index funds. On the other hand, high risk leads to higher potential gains, but at the cost of a higher chance of loss. Overall, diversification helps balance both risk and reward. Since we know risk will always be present no matter what investment you take, let's talk about how you can manage this risk. First, people can diversify their investments to spread risk across different assets. Also, you can invest for the long term to smooth out short-term market changes and fluctuations that are essentially inevitable. Thirdly, research before investing, which helps understand company and market trends. Lastly, you can set clear financial goals to match your investments to your risk tolerance. As always, with all this information, let's cover an example to help you understand. First, investing your money in a savings account would have low risk but also low reward. Government bonds would have low to medium risk and moderate reward. Thirdly, stocks would lead to medium to high risk and potentially high reward, while cryptocurrency has very high risk but also very high potential reward. This lesson is unfortunately slowly reaching its end, so let's go over the key takeaways. We learned that balancing risk and reward is key to successful investing, and that smart investors consider their financial goals, time horizon, and comfort level with uncertainty before choosing where to invest. Lastly, and almost most importantly, the goal is not to avoid risk, but manage it wisely for eventual long-term growth. Thank you for watching another lesson on Shine On Me, and stay tuned for next week's videos.